Hey y'all, it's Jon Shieber, senior editor at TechCrunch, coming at you again. You're not done with me yet. I'm standing here with the illustrious, esteemed, and eminent Bill Gurley, who just won VC of the year. Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
the time.
Yeah.
Other than our comical height differential, there are some very serious things that we should probably be discussing. The first of which is we're off to a rocky start in 2016.
That's true.
When you look at what the environment is like for VCs, and you've sort of been railing on this for a while about sort of valuation problems and companies that maybe are a little bit too pricey right now.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen this year?
Well, I unfortunately the past couple of weeks have been as traumatic a downturn in the public markets as we've seen in a long time, and it's bringing to light, I think, a lot of the issues that I've been talking about before. And it looks like we're going to have to sort through those. And unfortunately, Silicon Valley is a cyclical place where people tend to, when they get excited, get a little overexcited.
Right.
And in this particular window, I think that level of overexcitement led to moving forward with fairly uneconomic business models, really large burn rates, that kind of thing. And partially driven by remarkable amounts of free capital, but that free capital may be drying up, which could cause what appears to be a lot of cataclysmic events.
Well, so there are certain categories that seem to be more prone to this than others. There's this on-demand delivery category, for instance, which I think is drawing a lot of agita from a lot of investors. When I look back, I started covering VC in 2000.
Little
and
Cosmo.
I remember Webvan.
Webvan,
and Cosmo.
Yeah.
Do these guys need to worry?
Well, here's the really hard part, and on this wonderful night with these awards, I didn't really want to dwell on this topic.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
but
it's
we'll
fine.
talk about something happy.
No, here's the thing. Like, most people don't remember that Webvan had a remarkably high NPS score. We were actually an investor in Webvan, and when you give people more economic value than you charge them for, they love you. And so you can't look merely at revenue or order volume success in the absence of profitability, because that may just be a false indicator because you're giving things away. And some have argued, maybe me included, that this is a wonderful time for the consumer because the venture capital surplus is providing lots of wonderful services that may not be around long term.
Well, or also great deals for people on these services, and the economics might change if you can make them change. Now, I don't want to cast shade on the industry on such a lovely night. You're absolutely right. So let's end on a positive note. When you look at the year ahead, what are the bright spots that you see on the horizon for startups, maybe for the country? I don't know how lofty you want to get.
Well, look, I mean, this may be overly focused on our own situation, but as the early investor in Uber and a board member there, despite all the things that you read, I do think there's a real opportunity to reorient how cities are built. We've spent about 90 years designing America around the car. And it's probably, second to the home, the most expensive capital asset for most families. It's utilized about 5% of the time, so it's sitting around rusting and waiting. Having parking spots for everyone in their offices and at their homes causes you to build cities in a more spread out, sprawled way. And I think there can be a better answer. And I think we're going to see 2016 be what is known as peak car, where car ownership per household starts together the other way, and there's a lot of benefits that could come from that.
Other than Uber, are y'all unpacking that thesis? I'm going to make this the last question. I want to keep you too long. Are you unpacking that thesis in other ways? So if you think about the technologies that can transform the cities, you're looking at IoT.
Sure.
You look at things like Uber. You look at there are there's a panoply of technologies that are coming to market. Li-Fi is on the horizon, where you've got the entire infrastructure of the city that can be transformed.
I think we're certainly, open to looking at that as kind of an investable theme. Some companies we're in that are a little off the beaten path from a venture perspective. One Medical is a facility-based doctor's office that has unbelievable SLAs with the customer, which you don't normally get from your current doctor.
Right.
And they're packed deep into dense urban environments, which is a different thing as well. They have guaranteed one-day appointments and I think 1 hour email. So that's an example. Adam at WeWork, certainly is someone that believes in a lot of these themes and the moves of millennials to the urban center.
Right. Well, with that, sir, I will let you go.
Okay.
I just one more point. If you were to say one thing that would summarize your Crunchies experience right now, what would it be? If you could sort of bottle this joy and express it in one word.
Humbled.
All right, sir.
Thank you so much.
And with that, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate the time. Very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate the time. Very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate the time. Very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate the time.